Hi guys, Cy Fisher here with Windermere Real Estate South Whidbey. Today we're doing another tech training tutorial for real estate agents. Going to be working in Moxi Engage. And in the last Engage tutorial, I showed you how to build beautiful emails for your custom email campaigns from scratch using the email builder tool. Well, today I'm going to show you how to get into where you can start with a template. So that might actually be faster for you. The templates are going to give you an outline, and then you can kind of just plug in your own text and own images in the layout that's already going to be designed for you. So pretty cool. We'll just get right into the tutorial. All right, here we are in the dashboard for Engage. First place we're going to go is over here to campaigns. And once you're in campaigns, you're going to come down here to My Emails. Once you're here, if you already have emails here, the easiest way to create a new one for me would be to click on the three dots and then just hit duplicate on any of them. Because once you add a template, it's going to overwrite whatever is there prior to adding that template. Or you can just delete everything and start from blank. So if you don't already have emails here, I'd recommend just coming up here to add from library. And once that's open, I like to sort by name from A to Z. And then I can just scroll down. And if, say, for example, I'm creating a brand new custom email, I'll use the build your own email one. So I'll just click add to emails once I've located that. And that's going to add it to my section of my emails here. So I have a brand new email I can work with. But let's just say we use the duplicate method, and now we're going to go in and edit this email that says copy one. And we still have the original that we want to keep of the one we made in the last tutorial video. I'll just show you real quick. Just built that from scratch, went over all the tools and how you use them. So today we'll edit a brand new one and start with a template. So I'll hit edit. Again, we'll just go over this stuff real quick. I mentioned naming conventions in the last tutorial, and actually I like to put my naming convention slightly different than I mentioned in the last one. Usually I'll do campaign name first, and then I will do the number of the email in that campaign. So this will be email 2, and then I'll put the kind of subject of the email. So marketing material, whatever it may be, just an example. So the warm seller campaign, it's email 2 in that sequence. Whoops. And the subject is going to be about marketing material. So it's a great naming convention to use to stay organized. I'll hit save. Then I'll come down here, edit setup. This is where you're going to change your subject line. List with me and have the best marketing material. So just an example, it's not something I'm actually going to be using. I'm going to want to be real thoughtful with what I put in my subject line, make sure people want to open it. Same with the preview text down here. You can leave it blank and it will just grab information from your email. But if you want to put a teaser sentence here, it appears below the subject line before your email is opened. So kind of cool. I recommend using that. We'll leave header and footer on, and I'll go ahead and hit save. All right. Once we've done that, we can just go into editing the email content right here with this button. So we have our layout from our previous tutorial, but today we're going to start with a template. So I'm going to come over here to change template, this button right here, and I'm going to open that up. And then right out the gate, you have the option to start from scratch. So I don't have to manually delete everything in my email. I can just click that, start from scratch. And then you have all of these templates. The Gardener report ones are on the top. For some reason, it doesn't show you a preview, unfortunately, of these ones, and I'm not exactly sure why. But if you actually select that template and hit apply, it does have information and images and all that stuff. So you can come in your own time and look through these because they got recruiting ones, they have promo ones. So you can look through all of these and see if there's anything you would like to use. Today, we're just going to scroll down to the bottom where I can actually see the preview of the template. And we're going to use this one, which is listing promotion today for the tutorial. So I'll left click on that, and then I'll go ahead and hit confirm. And that's going to apply it to my email. So one thing to note is when you apply a new template, it's going to delete everything else that was in the email prior. So make sure you're wanting to do that. We already duplicated this from another email, so the original is still intact, and this is going to be a brand new email, so it's fine to overwrite. So here we have our layout, which is pretty basic, but it's also pretty nice too for just listed, and it's going to get you up and going, creating beautiful emails pretty quickly. So first thing we'll want to do is double click on the logo section here. I already uploaded my brokerage logo. If you haven't, you can upload the image, drag and drop the file here. Once it's here, you're gonna left click, double click, and it's gonna pop that into the logo area. So for this particular image, I think it's just slightly too big. So I'll left click on it, make sure I have it selected. Gonna come over here to the right, and I'm gonna change the width to 25. It will actually change in proportion, which is nice. So I'll just hit enter, and that drops it down just a tad in size, which is exactly what I want. Now for the text, it doesn't look great on this image, pretty hard to read. So I'm going to use a trick. Because this section is what's known as a hero section, you can see up here in the left-hand corner when I have it highlighted. It doesn't allow you to just drag and drop to move things where you want exactly over the image. So I'm going to use a little trick to push that text down. How I'm going to do that is I'm going to have the image selected on top, and then I'm going to add padding to it on the bottom. So I'm going to add 300 padding on the bottom of that image. So that may be a little bit too much. Let's try 250. Boom. So what it did is it basically just pushed that text down to the bottom of the image where I was wanting it. So now I have logo on top, text on bottom. It's just an example of how you can use the tools. I would tinker with this to have it exactly, how I want. So the text still doesn't look great. It needs some work a little bit. So I think I'm just going to bold it by, clicking on it, highlighting. And then the next thing I want to do is while I have that text selections text box selected, I'm going to actually change the background color. So normally I would cut and paste to have the exact Windermere blue color, for this section. But today I'm just going to wing it, and I'm going to select what to me looks somewhat close. Obviously, it's a little bit more purple, or a lot more purple than Windermere blue, but it's just an example. So I'm actually going to, so there's two bars. You can kind of change the color spectrum, and then you can drag and drop or click on the specific color. Then this bottom bar over here on the right-hand side is for opacity. So you can have it at full opacity, or you can lower it so it's somewhat transparent. And that's what I'm going to do for my design. So that looks good. I'll hit OK. And now, we have the logo on top, the text information on the bottom with a transparent background. So just an example. Say I don't like the gray for this background area. Maybe I'll change the background color for that as well. We'll get something pretty like, I don't know, pink, hot pink. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So maybe you won't want to use hot pink. Maybe I won't either, but this is just an example. So if I wanted this to match up with the bar down below here, I can actually just cut and paste this background color information. So right here is the color that we selected. If I hit Control C, or right click and hit copy, I'll just come down here and I'm going to paste that into this other background section, hit enter. So now those colors are matching with the perfect hot pink for my promo email. All right, well, we've done some stuff. Obviously, you're going to want to come here and select these images, double click to open them up, and change them to whatever you want that you have for your listing. So you can modify this however you're needing. Maybe you want to change this to kitchen. Okay. Maybe we want to duplicate a whole section. So here's a trick. I'm just doing this on the fly, so we'll see if it works. If you left click on this and select it, and then hold the shift key and select click, 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 see how it's highlighting a bunch of stuff for me? It's highlighting everything. Well, I'm going to hit Control C to copy, see if this works in the builder. I haven't tested this out yet. And then hit, no, it doesn't look like it's going to. All right, let's try a different method. So say, for example, I want to do 3 sections. So I'm going to have kitchen, bedroom, exterior, or whatever. I'm going to have multiple sections. I can hit duplicate, and it's going to create that duplicate section from what I'm wanting. So I just do that on all of these, including the, no, it's kind of annoying. There we go. including the headers here, the titles, and then rearrange it to how I want. So now I can drag and drop this down here. Oops. Oh, here's something, see? So it's a little bit interesting, you have to tinker around with it to get used to the tools. It's not gonna let me drag and drop because there's not an additional column here. So it wants me to put it on that row on that section with the header on the actual image. So what I need to do is come up here to the right, click on rows, and then add a new column right here. Or yeah, right here is fine. So now I'm going to move this down. I'm going to move this. Oh. So I'm actually going to add another 3 columns here. I'm sure there's an easier way of doing this, but like I said, I'm doing it on the fly just as a sample. And usually I'm messing around with the tools quite a bit to get everything exactly how I want. But what I ended up doing was I just created the new row layout with a single row for the header and then a triple row for the image. And then I just dragged and dropped those to start with the formatting to move my images up. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the titles of the sections. So the whole idea of using a template is kind of to, help you create the emails faster. Now, if you're going to do a lot of adjustments on it, it might actually be better to start from scratch. Because the templates are set up, in a specific way. And sometimes to edit them becomes a little tricky, but we'll just finish up with this example. So I'm creating the new section, so now I have an additional section. There we go. So yeah, play around. And by doing this, you're going to get better and faster with using the tool. So now I'm just deleting all those additional sections that were created, delete that. So now I got, a matching section. I can change those photos, change that title to something else and have, 3 sections instead of 2. So you can come in and customize it how you want. I recommend using the preview eye right here. It's going to show you what your email actually looks like with the header and footer. Well, that Windermere blue looks lovely with that pink. I will say so myself. Joking. So probably won't use that hot pink, but you can see how it looks and then you can go and make fine tuning adjustments as you will. So maybe I don't like this image just right at the top here. Maybe I want to do something like this. So go over to row, drag and drop my formatting section, my block on the top, and then I'll add, let's see here, just text. That's what I'm going to use. Actually, let's use text section because it already comes with a header. So I'm going to put a text section here. I'm going to delete the body part. I'm going to highlight the main section, center align it, going to put all caps, just listed, exclamation, highlight it again, and I'm actually going to change this to color red and oh, that's fine. Let's do this one more time. Boom. Color red. Oh, you have to make sure the text is selected when you're making those changes. So now I have just listed on the top. And is there any other edits I want to do on that? I think the spacing on the bottom is a little bit too much. So I'm going to put 5 on the bottom or maybe 0 on the bottom. Just listed. Letter spacing, I actually want it to spread out a little bit more. I'm just kind of giving you an example of how you can use the tools. All right, maybe that's how I want it to look. So let's hit preview again. Just listed. And then the details. The hot pink is really bothering me at this point, especially when we're doing the preview. Thought it'd be entertaining, but let's just change it real quick. All right. Opacity is going to stay full. Just make it blue color. Copy that background color. change the bottom one by pasting it, change that one by pasting it, and change this one, pasting it, and then lowering the opacity. Okay. Oh, okay. It's going to be annoying for me. All right, that's going to do. Now let's look at the preview one final time. All right, that looks a bit better, a little bit more consistency in color. And there's our email starting with a template. So kind of went over the tools a little bit more again, even though we're not building from scratch, just to give you examples of how you can start with the template and then edit it to your liking. Obviously, I'd put another text block down here. Maybe I'd do a section with marketing remarks. You're going to want to fine tune this and make sure it's the way that you want it before putting it in your campaign. So I'm going to stop sharing screen. The idea is really take your time with these emails, make them really nice and provide a lot of valuable information because you're going to just make them once. You're going to then put them in that email campaign, and you can use that campaign over and over and over again for potentially hundreds of clients. So yeah, take some time to make sure your email looks nice and is providing that valuable information that's going to make someone want to open it when they receive it in their email box. And then, like I said, you can use it over and over and over again. So it's going to continue to provide value for you and for your client. So it's time well invested. Creating custom campaigns, is going to be the best way to automate your touch points and stay in contact with, a lot of people that you're going to be working with, hopefully. A lot of potential clients, a lot of current clients. And sometimes we don't always have the time to reach out, to every single person. Now, this shouldn't take the place of making those phone calls or sending the text messages or interacting on social media. This is just a way of creating an additional touch point. And it's automated. So that's really helpful. They're going to see you everywhere. You're going to be in their email box, on their social media, on their phone. So when they do decide to buy or sell real estate, you're going to be the person who's top of mind. You're going to be the person that they call. So that's the goal of using all of these methods. And it's just one in your toolbox, the automated touch points, which is incredibly valuable because once it's set up, the keyword is automated. So very cool. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial today. In the next tutorial, I'll show you how to get your automated custom campaigns set up and add these emails we've created to that campaign so that they're ready to be sent out sequentially to your clients. So once again, if you liked the video, hit the thumbs up. If you've got any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section. If you're in my brokerage, Windermere Real Estate South of Whidbey, obviously call me, reach out directly if you guys have any questions. So hope you enjoyed it. This is Cy Fisher signing off.